you. Thank you. Good morning. Welcome to the Tizen Developer Conference. It's really great. It's really great to see so many people here today. My name is Ben Lloyd Pearson. I'm the Manager of Strategy and Operations for the Samsung Open Source Group. And I'll be your MC for this morning's keynote, so we've got a ton of great content for you. I'm curious, how many of you have been to a Tizen event before? Okay, yeah, pretty good mix. We got lots of new people, lots of return. So for those of you that are returning, welcome back. There should be plenty of new things for you to learn and discover. For the rest of you, welcome to your first Tizen event. When it comes to collaborative projects like Tizen, there simply is no substitute for face-to-face interaction with other experts in the field. This conference provides a really unique opportunity for you to network with and learn from some very smart people. Everyone is here to learn, so don't be afraid to start up a conversation with someone you don't know. You just never know what you might find out. To formally introduce you to this conference, I'd like to welcome to the stage Jim Zemlin, the Executive Director of the Linux Foundation. Please welcome Mr. Zemlin.
Thank you very much, and welcome. It's good to see everyone today. My name's Jim Zemlin. I work at the Linux Foundation. We are home to the world's most successful open source project, Linux. But what you might not know is we're also home to a bunch of the open source software that you use to create applications and products every day. Things like Node.js, jQuery, the JS Foundation, Kubernetes, and many more. And last but not least, of course, Tizen. And you know, when I thought about my introduction this morning, I reflected on just how much open source code there is out there like Tizen and the other projects that we host at the Linux Foundation. In fact, today, nobody builds anything without leveraging the power of open source. There are literally millions of open source repositories all over the world. Just on GitHub alone, 64 million open source repositories created by over 21 million developers from all around the world, which is just an amazing feat of collective innovation. But today, when you're attending these sessions and looking at all of the interesting things you're going to see, one of the things that you should think about is that out of the tens of millions of open source projects, the key question you should be asking is, which of those projects really matter? Which of those projects can I bet my career on? You know, am I going to develop for this framework or that framework? Am I going to bet my company's products and services on this code versus that code? You know, and we think about this a lot at the Linux Foundation. And you know, the answer to that question is, out of the millions and millions of open source projects that are out there, what we find is the projects that really, really matter, that you can bank on, are projects that have sustainable ecosystems around them. The open source code that succeeds the best, that innovates the most quickly, are projects that have a rich developer community, where you have a large and diverse set of people who are working collectively on the code, improving it, solving a really big problem, whether it's cloud computing, server-side JavaScript, creating mobile and embedded systems, but creating that code to solve a problem that then gets made into some kind of product or service that creates value. Some kind of product or service similar to, let's say, this Tizen watch I have on my wrist. And when the act of creating those products and services happens, you create value. That value is then reinvested back into the project. The project then gets more resources in the form of more code, more developers working on it, and then you get even more products and wonderful services. And that is exactly what has happened in Tizen, which started out in the mobile arena, moved to things like these wearables, now is being used to create IoT devices, home appliances, and much, much more. And that's creating value, which is begetting better code, which is creating more products, and so forth. So I think Tizen really is an excellent example of, out of those millions of open source projects, the one that you can really bank on. And amongst open source projects, we find that that's a very, very rarefied identity indeed. And so I want to encourage all of you to check out the incredible things that are going on in the Tizen community. And on behalf of the Linux Foundation, I want to thank all of you for your great work. Enjoy the event. Thank you so much.
Yeah, how about that? So now, we've got a ton of great content for you in this morning's keynotes. The first topic is the Tizen platform vision. Specifically, we'll find out what's upcoming in Tizen 4.0 and how the user experience of Tizen is being improved for the IoT era. Additionally, we'll learn about how Tizen is the ideal platform for voice communication with things like smart appliances and headless devices. Without further ado, please help me welcome to the stage Hyogen Lee, Executive Vice President of Samsung.
Hello, San Francisco. San Francisco is a beautiful city with lovely weather and energetic people. Are you excited to be here? I'm very excited to be here again because in 2014, the last Tizen event in the US was held here. Tizen has been getting better and better over the past 3 years. Tizen's continuous advancement, what brings us all here today for the Tizen Developer Conference 2017. I'm confident that you will see for yourselves the outstanding progress that we are making with Tizen, and you will connect with many other developers and passionate partners during the conference. This morning, I will share with you an overview of Tizen 4.0. Also, you will learn more information about platform features, products, and collaboration opportunities from other keynote speakers. By the way, you will be pleased to receive the latest Tizen product, Samsung Gear S3, for the conference giveaway. It's yours, and you will be informed later how to pick them up. Now, let's get started. Tizen is evolving. Tizen was launched as an open source project in 2012. Even though it was originally designed for smartphones, it soon also provided wearables and TV profiles. The first commercial Tizen product was Samsung smartwatch in 2014. And now, Tizen has become the OS for nearly all Samsung products, to include TVs, mobiles, refrigerators, robot vacuum cleaners, air conditioners, and so on. Because of its proven record of sales growth, we can say Tizen is the most successful Linux-based OS in the world. We have making progress, but IoT is also evolving rapidly, and we are facing some challenges. For example, new inventions, very small devices, and even everyday items will require a platform to be connected to the internet and do something useful for users. As a result, even more applications will appear, and more developers will be required. We need to find a way to embrace those developers and to enhance their productivity. Can you do it? Yes, we can. Let's look at the details and share with you. Oh, sorry. In order to meet these challenges, Tizen 4.0 offers 4 solutions. First, we are introducing a new application development environment to support new language, APIs, frameworks, and tools. Second, Tizen's device coverage is being extended to lightweight devices. Third, Tizen can be configured to handle various types of devices. Lastly, it allows device manufacturers to deploy, monitor, and update product software conveniently. Let's look at each of them in detail. Tizen 4.0 provides a new way to develop applications other than just using native C and HTMLs. We are introducing widely used language and tools, including C# and .NET Core, Xamarin Forms, and Visual Studio for Tizen. With C# and .NET Core, it is possible to implement high-quality applications very quickly in less time. Xamarin Forms, a very popular UI toolkit, cross-platform UI toolkit, will allow developers to easily port their iOS applications or Windows applications to Tizen. Visual Studio for Tizen provides device emulators and an extension to improve productivity. They make it easier to develop Tizen.NET applications visually. With Tizen.NET, you can easily participate even if you are not a Tizen developer or not an embedded software developer. Without a doubt, adding a new language on the platform is very hard. If it were not for Microsoft's collaboration and the power of open source project, it would not have been possible in such a short time. Tizen community and Microsoft will continue to collaborate closely to make Tizen more valuable. In November last year, we released the preliminary version of Tizen.NET, and after that, we released 2 additional previews of Tizen.NET. As a part of Tizen 4.0, the Tizen.NET's first public version will be available as a milestone 1, will happen next month. And also, it will be included in the SDK for Samsung Smart TV partners in this summer. And it will be shipped in all Samsung Smart TV from next year. Tizen.NET enabled TVs will show off their rich functionality and excellent performance on real products. And you can be confident Tizen.NET will spread to all other device types. Do we support lightweight devices? Yes. For convenience, those devices that have memory size ranging from tens of kilobytes to less than 2 megabytes, let's call them lightweight devices. Our solution for lightweight devices is Tizen RT. It includes the real-time OS support. The first version of Tizen RT source code was released at the end of last year, and it will evolve to the second version in Tizen 4.0 milestone 1 next month. Also, Tizen RT includes a JavaScript application framework called IoT.js. You can think of IoT.js as the lightweight version of Node.js. It will provide a convenient way to control the devices. Will it be easy for you to build platforms for new device types other than mobiles and TVs? Yes. It offers configurable assembly of building blocks. Because most components for platforms are available and maintained continuously in Tizen, the building blocks will allow you to design new devices very quickly. Device developers or device manufacturers will be able to focus on differentiating their devices and services when they make new devices with Tizen. It will be awesome to developers, and all manufacturers. Can you meet enhanced maintainability in Tizen 4.0? Yes. Software deployment, update, installing a new module, device monitoring, security patches can be easily and quickly solved with Tizen Cloud infrastructure. Without separate infrastructure, device manufacturers can provide stable maintenance and operational services for their products. Also, it will save cost and time, and it will satisfy their users. Today, I talked about 4 solutions that Tizen is preparing for IoT. Extended application environment, especially .NET support, and Tizen RT to support lightweight devices, and platform configurability and maintainability. Tizen 4.0 and later versions will have extended application ecosystem and device ecosystem, giving you everything you need. You can be certain that this will happen very soon. So, Tizen 4.0 will be complete by the end of this year. The future of IoT is right in front of us. The IoT era presents you with the opportunity of a lifetime to participate in making the future better. Tizen is ready to connect developers, ready to connect devices, ready to connect with a brighter future. We invite you to share your ideas, to contribute your talents, and to join us on this epic journey. That's it. Thank you for listening, and please enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you.
Morning. It's great to be here today to be able to share with you our plans on how we are going to enhance Tizen's overall user experience through visual design and show you some of the design works that we've been working on. As you all know, IoT is a huge issue in the UX design discipline these days. And the reason for that is because we have truly entered the era of IoT. And we've been hearing a lot of great stories about how the IoT products and services are really benefiting people's daily lives and the way they work. And it's rapidly expanding into areas such as automobile, buildings, public infrastructures in the cities all around the world. And developers and engineers are constantly creating better and new innovative ways to interact with them. We're definitely living in a connected world. But despite all the great intentions of empowering us and trying to make our lives better, it could also create unintended confusion. When you think about it, multiple products connecting and communicating with each other, producing massive amounts of data, users are exposed to the burden of having to manage and monitor all this information overload. And we've been hearing a lot of complaints from the users, even before the IoT era, how the dashboard looks very confusing. It's hard to comprehend because of all the notifications that they've been receiving constantly. So let's admit it, things can get pretty complex at the rate we are advancing. So we know for sure users are in need of thoughtful UX, and that gives people like us here today an opportunity, but also a responsibility to make things easier and more pleasant for the users. Because at the end of the day, it's all about enhancing the quality of people's lives. And let's face it, whatever products and services you guys are creating, better the user experience, and that leads to better business opportunities. So Samsung has been researching how to provide better user experience for many years now, and we believe in the IoT era, understanding the different context of the user's journey when using a product or service is becoming more important than ever before. Because products like refrigerators and TVs are now becoming a member of the IoT product ecosystem, which means more business opportunities for you guys, but at the same time, it has to satisfy the multiple usage and interoperability with other products while satisfying the different context of the user's journey. For example, simply watching TV at home with your family can be very different from using the TV screen during a business meeting, doing video conferences, sharing documents with multiple devices. Using a refrigerator like the Family Hub can have different usage when you're having a little get-together in your kitchen, playing music, entertaining your friends, versus just wanting to watch a video, cooking video instruction while cooking. So, as you can see, users will be using the same product differently in different situations. And Tizen happens to be at the core of all this different context of user's journey. And we're trying to make all these come together in a harmonious and delightful way. So now, here's the design process that we went through in order to come up with Tizen's new visual strategy. Because the graphics on the screen is the key communication language and the first touch point between the user and all the interconnected services and multiple devices, the look and feel of a graphic user interface plays a crucial role in providing a better user experience. So we explored what would be the most appropriate visual expression for Tizen in the IoT era. We began by thinking of the users first, what they would be going through when interacting with multi-connected devices and interconnected services. So taking this into consideration, we knew that providing a consistent and seamless visual experience would be one of the solutions in helping to reduce the visual strain and confusion. And this is one of the key factors that we really wanted to tackle. So we came up with the following 3 visual strategies. First is simplify. Navigating through vast amounts of content through limited screen space can be a challenge. With so many information like menus, buttons, texts, graphics, and videos, all fighting for screen space can easily make the user interface look very confusing. So prioritizing on the importance of the information and supporting the main content by simplifying the decorative design elements was our first approach in trying to solve this problem. Let's take a look at the Tizen TV example. In the TV context, the show you're watching is the hero. So we decided to go with a circular shape for the third-party content provider menu. This may not seem like much, but a circular shape covers up less area than a rectangular shape. And these type of little efforts add up. And as you can see, it makes the overall layout much more spacious and less cluttered. And when it's not active, it hides itself halfway down the screen to take up even less space, but letting the users know that it's there to be controlled. We also cleaned up unnecessary decorations from functional design elements, such as the divider bar. By giving it a subtle but functionally effective visual expression, it does its job of separating information, while making the user interface look much more cleaner and organized, providing clarity to the contents that matters to the users. And we applied this type of subtle but effective, thoughtful visual solutions across multiple platforms, creating a consistent and seamless visual experience. Next is natural intuitiveness. The intention here is to enhance the usability while making the interface approachable and pleasing to look at. So we wanted to go with aesthetics that's very naturally familiar to the users, something that they experience in their everyday setting. So we took cues from natural shadow effects. This simple and clean expression can convey vertical depth and three-dimensional spatial expressions, adding emphasis while being subtle. Here's how it looks when applied to the TV settings menu. It helps the menu stand out without being too decorative. And this approach reduces visual strain and helps the user focus better, especially when you're trying to control this with a remote control from a distance from the TV. Lastly, breathing space. I'm sure you've all experienced such congested sign systems, and it's definitely eye-catching. But does it really help you focus on anything? This is what could happen on your screen if everything is trying to compete for attention. So to make sure this doesn't happen, with carefully thought of grid systems and breathing space between information can fix this problem. See how it makes the UI look much more pleasing to look at and less chaotic. And although it may look like we're wasting precious real estate of the screen, we know for sure that this is a proven technique and solution used in the editorial design practice for many decades. As you can see, Tizen's visual strategy is about prioritizing and balancing between the main and the sub. Taking a step back, supporting the main contents that matter to the users. And this is important because we're trying to make your hard work shine. So this was the preview of Tizen's new visual strategy and some of the designs we've been working on. And you'll be able to see some of them in action today and tomorrow during the demo session. So what I've just shared with you is just the tip of the iceberg in enhancing the overall UX for Tizen. There are many factors that needs to come together. But I believe with the help of the developers, engineers, designers here today, and all the participants in Tizen open source community, we can enhance Tizen's UX much quicker, which will lead to better UX for the users, which means also more business opportunity for everyone. We're ready to connect, so please get involved and let's make Tizen's UX better. Thank you very much.
I'm Mingyong Kim. I lead the software R&D for appliances at Samsung Electronics. I'm very excited to be part of this keynote representing Tizen's support for voice enablement. Everybody must agree that voice is very hot nowadays. So let's dig into how Tizen supports voice. We are in the era where voice has become the new key interaction method between human and devices. For enabling voice capability, Tizen is the ideal platform for various devices, from smart appliances to various things, and also for service providers and app developers. In particular, app developers can use Tizen's voice control framework to enable voice for their native Tizen apps. Today, I'd like to introduce how Tizen helped enabling the voice for Samsung appliances. Now, you can talk to our flagship refrigerators, Family Hub. Through Family Hub's food management capability, you can tell whether you've run out of milk. And if so, you can tell Family Hub to order milk from online grocery stores and have it delivered to your house directly. Our newest Family Hub runs Tizen 3.0. And later in this keynote, you'll see a demo of Family Hub. The voice capability is built on Tizen's platform. Hold on, OK. Voice capability is built on Tizen's platform, with the voice control framework being the essence. Besides the voice framework, Tizen also provides the default voice client that connects to the Samsung Voice solution on cloud. In other words, by using Tizen, you can use the Samsung Voice solution. including speech-to-text capability. So this is something that you get for free by adopting Tizen. However, you may already have your own voice solution. No worries there, because the Tizen architecture is designed to support diverse voice solutions. You can easily replace Samsung Voice Client with your choice of client and connect to any voice solution on cloud. We now have voice-enabled refrigerators on the market. We won't stop here, but we'll continue to expand the voice capabilities to all our appliances. As for those devices with limited resources, we need to have a corresponding lighter version of a voice solution. For those devices, Tizen RTOS can be the platform for enabling the voice. Tizen is the platform that can enable voice for every device in your house. Besides devices themselves, we also offer Samsung Connect app, which runs both on mobile phones and also on Family Hub. Through Samsung Connect app, you can control your devices using voice. Let's say you spill some flour while baking. You no longer need to stop what you're doing and clean up. Just tell your fridge, vacuum the kitchen, and your robot vacuum cleaner will do the job for you. Samsung Connect app allows you to not only control the appliances, but also all the things, especially those that are connected by SmartThings Hub. By using this app, you can also create your own rules to automate smart home scenarios. Voice capability and connectivity are offered by Samsung IoT ecosystem. By joining this ecosystem, you'll be connected to numerous service providers and partners. If you are a device maker, wouldn't it be great if your user can call a taxi using your device and you can easily connect them with the best service provider? If you're a service provider, by joining this ecosystem, you'll be exposed to millions of Samsung device users. So Samsung is the first appliance company to embed a voice solution that understands the type of the language that people use in everyday speech. We'll be sharing our experience through Tizen open source. By joining this community, you'll be joining this entire ecosystem. These are not just for UX or voice capabilities that Tizen facilitates, but also all the capabilities that Samsung Cloud can offer. Samsung IoT Cloud allows all things to be connected, communicate, and interoperate seamlessly. From technical perspective, I strongly believe that smart appliances, we are ready for the smart appliances and smart home. So come and join Tizen, which opens up this ecosystem with the unlimited capabilities. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kim. The changes we just heard about will make Tizen more valuable than ever for building products. Now, we'll take a closer look at how the Tizen product ecosystem is continuing to evolve. Our next speakers will talk about new developments in smart TVs, home appliances, and mobile devices. Please help me welcome to the stage Adam Tom, Senior Vice President of Samsung.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for coming and joining us. I'm Adam Tom, CTO and Senior Vice President within the Visual Display Division. This is a great time to be part of Samsung and our visual display business. Samsung leads the TV industry in sales and quality for 11 consecutive years, a success we plan to continue for another 11 years with the world's best TV platform. We live in a constantly evolving world of video. Today, live TV from broadcast cable and satellite is available over the top. At the same time, award-winning originals from OTT providers have become must-see TV. As the lines between them disappear, one thing stands out. We love TV. Watching video is by far our favorite way of being entertained. Both users and viewing hours are now measured in the billions, and this will continue to grow for the foreseeable future. While demand is at an all-time high, users need new ways of sifting through the seemingly infinite number of apps and shows to watch, new ways of connecting, and new ways of customizing their viewing experience to their needs. With Tizen, Samsung is providing greater levels of value for both end users and app partners. In the past, customers bought our TVs for picture quality. Now they buy because of the overall experience. As our market share continues to grow, so does the number of users and the number of apps. That growth creates a lot of opportunity for app owners, along with a few new challenges. So in 2016, we started addressing pain points by leveling the playing field of live TV and OTT in a few ways. First, by grouping live TV and OTT in the same area of the Smart Hub UI, we made accessing your apps as easy as watching TV. Second, we integrated services from major cable and satellite providers while also enabling users to control their set-top boxes using Samsung One Remote. Third, instead of returning to the last viewed channel when turning on your TV, we now return you to whatever you were doing before turning it off. If you're in an app, we return you to that app. If you're watching TV, it will return to live TV. Once all sources were placed in the same level, app owners needed a way to stand out. So we invented the preview bar, a feature app developers can use to showcase content and functionality directly within the Smart Hub UI, providing opportunity to engage users without needing to launch the app. An app's preview bar can even be personalized to individual users, creating more meaningful, tailored experiences. Finally, no app platform would be complete without the core features of in-app purchases and mobile connectivity. With Samsung Checkout, we gave app developers the ability to handle in-app payments on the TV. And using Samsung SmartView SDK, developers worldwide are creating unique multi-device experiences. But that was last year. For 2017, our mission is to provide even more ways for app developers and content owners to increase engagement, including better app discovery, customizable categories, and new content ecosystems. To help app partners increase discoverability of their apps, we moved our apps tile into the system tray and then combined it with our preview bar functionality. Now, any app can be featured prominently within the Smart Hub UI, greatly increasing awareness and engagement. We also created a new sports category and included a way for users to customize it based on their interests, which provides personalization for users and enhanced discoverability for media partners. Now, for music lovers, we added a new music category and expanded our preview bar concept to a full-screen UI. Here, music apps can deliver personalized rows of content to the user, very similar to the preview bar. Finally, for design-savvy customers, we created a new TV and and content ecosystem centered around art. Called The Frame, it is a TV capable of displaying framed digital artwork and personal photos when it's turned off. It includes a mobile companion app which allows browsing and selection of artwork, plus uploading and managing videos and photos. The Frame also includes a way for customers to expand their digital art collection through an art store within the app. As you can see, Samsung Visual Display is working hard to provide app owners and developers a variety of ways to succeed on Tizen. When you develop apps and services for Samsung Smart TVs, our market share becomes your audience, and our features become your paths to success. Developers, product owners, and business leaders around the world are building innovative apps and services on Samsung TVs. And although many of them focus completely on video, others are paving the way to entirely new avenues of TV interaction utilizing multiple devices and off-screen data to create new and unique benefits to end users. So the best way to describe this is to show you. Up next, Glimpse Vice President Chris Park will introduce how they utilize their core location tracking service to bring unique experiences to life through Tizen on Samsung Smart TV. Thank you. Chris?
Good to see you. Thank you. Let me outdo this. So, hi everyone, I'm Chris, and I want to share with you a little bit about how Glimpse and Samsung were partnering together to bring some really cool experiences to the Tizen ecosystem. Now, I know what you guys are all thinking. Everybody who stands up here always thinks that what they're working on is really cool. But I'm telling you, we got some really cool things to show you. But before I get to that, who's Glimpse? So Glimpse is the leading location services platform. You may be familiar with our mobile app. If you're not, it's an app that allows you to easily share your real-time location and ETA with anyone. The person who receives the Glimpse doesn't even need to download any software. But we're so much more than an app. From the beginning, it was always our goal to enable people to share their real-time location with anyone, not just on any device, not just from their smartphone. Our location sharing APIs are implemented on mobile phones, wearable devices, and connected cars all around the world. And today, many of the world's leading brands trust Glimpse for delivering location sharing experiences to their own users. We also saw the opportunity to disrupt the way that enterprises do business. Just last week, I ordered a new bed, and I had it delivered to our home. And so when I was called to schedule the appointment, I was given the dreaded 7 a.m. to 12 p.m. delivery window. Who has time for that? Today, we are working with many of the leading companies so that you never need to take a half day off work or waste an entire Saturday afternoon waiting for the cable guy or for the bed to be delivered or for anything. We're building an ecosystem that allows different devices and apps to communicate location data with one another. It works cross-device, cross-platform, and cross-OS. Now, by now, you're probably all thinking, come on, Chris, get to the cool Tizen stuff already. Well, let me take you back a few years ago when we decided to make a bet on Tizen. And we invested resources to develop our own Tizen client SDK. Like most startups, we were stretched for resources, probably like a lot of you in the room today. Looking back, I can honestly say it was one of the smartest decisions we ever made. There's no other company in the world like Samsung that has the breadth of consumer devices combined with distribution across mobile, wearable, home, and IoT. With Tizen, we all have the opportunity to bring some really special end-to-end experiences all within a single family of products. I want to highlight some of the projects that Samsung and Glimpse have been working on over the past 12 months. Almost a year ago, we launched our Glimpse app for the Gear S2. So now owners can easily share their location without their phone. Then, last September, at the Unpacked event at IFA Berlin, Samsung launched the new Gear S3. Using our Tizen SDK, Samsung announced an innovative SOS feature that allows users to send a glimpse to their emergency contacts by simply tapping on the home button 3 times. How cool is that? Then this year at CES, we partnered with the Family Hub team, who preloaded our app on all smart refrigerators. Now, we all know that the kitchen is the heart of the home. It's where we all congregate to eat, to drink, to hang out. Having a way to see where family members are on the map with a quick glance at the fridge just makes sense. So now, Glimpse was the first to enable location sharing on smartphones, watches, cars, even airplanes. And now, first on the refrigerator. And I'm here today to unveil our latest innovation with Samsung. Another first, Glimpse for TV. The TV has yet to reach its full potential. The TV, not your smartphone, has the potential to be the center of your connected home. We're part of a new wave of innovative apps that are designed to do more than just entertain you. We designed our app to make it easy for families to stay connected without disrupting you from enjoying your TV watching experience. So let me show you how this works. So I'm sitting at home and watching TV, and my wife sends me a glimpse to the family. So this is really important for me because this is when I hide all my snacks. So I'm sitting in front of my show, still playing on, and I see that my wife's on her way home. Her ETA is 23 minutes. I simply tap on the home button to see her exact location on the family map. I tap the home button again to close the map without missing a beat of this cool space cam video. You'll be able to download the Glimpse app starting on your Samsung TV starting this week. So what's really cool is about the way that we designed our platform. The Gear S3, the Family Hub, and the Samsung TV, and all of our other devices that we're working with work seamlessly together automatically. Let me show you a quick example of how this works. So now we've enabled our location platform for any device that moves. We've also launched the first location sharing experience in the kitchen and now the living room. But I'm even more excited about what the future holds. Soon, users will be able to initiate location-based actions from within their homes and on their smartphones. Imagine if you're ordering dinner for the family. Today, what you'll do is you'll look for all the nearby restaurants on a map that deliver. But what if you could make your decision based on the ETA for when the food will actually arrive at your home? Or on your way to work in the morning, Imagine if you could see all the different options for commuting based on their proximity and ETA to your home. We're working together with companies like Car2Go and Lyft to make these experiences a reality. We're building a marketplace of Glimpse-enabled things and connecting them with the consumer right inside of their homes. If you guys want to learn more about how you can add or use location in your own applications, one of our awesome developers, Nick, who's out there somewhere, will be doing a technical session at 4:45 p.m. today. He can show you how you can leverage location in our platform so that it'll automatically work with our growing device ecosystem. Or you can stop by our booth and just kind of check us out and see what we're up to. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to TDC 2017. I'm very excited to share with you one of our Tizen-based products you interact with over 40 times a day. As was shown by Chris at Glimpse, Family Hub is the center of your home. It is not just an appliance to keep your food fresh. It is also a digital appliance for your food, family, and your home. Family Hub 2.0 was just launched into the market. The previous version launched in 2016. We learned a lot from our consumers and made a lot of changes to improve the product. We built it on Tizen 3.0. We added in voice capabilities so you can interact with the refrigerator without touching it, without your dirty hands in the kitchen. We added in the concept of family profiles, which is very, very unique for a family environment. There's probably no product out there which has family profiles built in for your entire family. We've also integrated in all our applications so they can actually exchange data seamlessly from one application to the others, and I'll talk about a few examples. The three core categories of Family Hub are centered around family communications, entertainment, food and food management, and the smart home. All of these app categories can be tied together to provide the best experience for our users. On top of this, the users can interact with each and every one of these applications using voice. So let's take an example of our All Recipes application. Once you launch the application, you can see the different ingredients and simply with a click, add it to your shopping list. You can also click on a timer while you're cooking to actually set timers for your different cooking times in a particular recipe. Once you switch over to the shopping list application, you can actually click the different items and send it to our View Inside application, which manages your food inventory. Our View Inside application is actually the application which lets you see inside the refrigerator to see what products that you have. And within that app, you can simply tap on an item and create a memo. So why don't we move on and see a demonstration of people in the home actually use Family Hub.
So you're trying to tell me you can talk to the fridge?
Yes, watch. Hi, Samsung. See?
Well, what should we ask it to do?
Play Pandora.
Okay, launching Pandora.
Whoa, what else can it do?
Show us what's inside.
Let's use it for breakfast. Open recipes.
Pancakes.
Read recipe.
Combine milk with vinegar in a medium bowl and set aside for...
Oh no, we're out of maple syrup.
Hi, Samsung. Find maple syrup on Fresh Direct. Add to cart.
How about a thank you note? Open memo.
Thanks for saving the day, Mom.
So what's the plan for today, guys?
Let's see what's on my calendar. Homework again? How does it know?
Maybe because the fridge is smart.
Okay, I'm gonna see what else this fridge can do. Hi, Samsung.
As you can see, Family Hub is for everyone to use, from kids to adults. Everyone can interact with it as it's the center of your home. To build applications on Family Hub, they can be done in multiple ways. You can build a native Tizen application, which gives you access to the core platform. Simpler ways to use HTML, JavaScript. However, if you want voice capabilities, you need to add in a Tizen component to your HTML application. The simplest path to get onto Family Hub is a simple web link app. However, this only runs in a web container, and you won't be able to interact with the other applications on Family Hub. On the home screen level, here's an example. We have Tizen-based widgets. These can be interactable. To build interactable widgets on the Family Hub, the Tizen widget itself on the home screen must be built in native Tizen. So a couple of examples we have here is a photo application, which is a native Tizen widget, and the full app is also native Tizen. The recipes, all recipes application on the bottom right, you see the widget is native Tizen, but the application itself is a hybrid HTML JavaScript application with a Tizen component, so you can actually interact with it using your voice. So you can see we're building out our partner ecosystem. On the screen, you see a couple of examples of our partners we have in the US for Family Hub. These are just a few examples. We have dozens of additional regional partners across North America, Europe, and Asia. We're looking for partners, develop for Family Hub, and make a difference in every family's life. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Ho-Kyu Choi, head of Tizen Mobile Business in Samsung Electronics. It's great to see you all here in TDC 2017, and I'm happy to share the information about our Tizen new mobile station and share the information about the incentive program you are currently running on. Before we deep dive into the new product launch, let's see the market status of current Tizen mobiles we launched before. In January 2015, the first Tizen mobile station was launched. The name was Samsung Jet1, and it quickly became the best seller among the devices under $100 in India. In October 2015, the second Tizen smartphone, Jet3, was launched. It was the first model with a high-definition resolution. In August 2016, the third model, which is Samsung Jet2, was launched. It was the first LTE-enabled model, and it again became the best seller among under $100 devices in India. The annual sales volume in 2016 was about 30% larger than 2015, and it will grow to more than 100% in 2017. We are expecting continuous but even faster growth in the future. The success of this Tizen mobile business has inspired us to deliver even more values to the customers. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time to show you the new Tizen Samsung Jet4. The Samsung Jet4 is definitely a desirable device. Let's find out more. It has a premium-looking design. 2.5D front glass provides beautiful premium look, and this is sleek and elegant combined with a smooth and comfortable feel. And it's perfect for taking bright and clear selfies. It offers 5 megapixels on the front side and LED flash on the front side as well. That provides the freedom of taking selfies even in the dark. It has a switchable video recording feature between front and rear 5-megapixel cameras. Imagine you are taking a video of the beautiful scenery in the mountain Himalayas. You can switch back and forth yourself and the mountains in the rear side and record seamlessly in one video file. You don't need to take videos separately and edit to combine and merge them. In many cases, it's very short moment when you want to take pictures. And quick camera switch allows users to select rear view camera or front selfie camera from the lock screen. A swipe up gesture of the camera icon on the lock screen opens the rear view camera, and swipe left gesture opens the front selfie camera. Do you remember how difficult it was for you to use the smartphone for the first time? QuickTalk enables you to voice activate frequently used commands by pressing power and volume down buttons simultaneously. You can open selfie camera, music player, alarm, phone call to predefined contact, and several more. The reaction speed is very fast because it is using embedded voice recognition engine in Tizen platform. QuickTorch enables one-click turning on and off flashlight. By pressing power and volume up button simultaneously, you can turn it on. It's very convenient in emergency situation or like blackout, or if you want to turn it on promptly. Moreover, 2 LED flashes on Jet 4 provide increased brightness of the flashlight. In summary, Jet 4 offers elegant and sleek design, and it's easy to use, convenient quick access features, and it takes bright selfies thanks to the front LED flash. You could see that Jet 4 is packed with various values, but that's not all. You can hands-on this device in the exhibition room after this keynote, so please try that and find out more. Also, we are proud to announce that Samsung Jet 4 will be launched in May 19th in India first, and other countries gradually. Now let's move on to the launching countries of Tizen smartphones so far. India has been the flag bearer of the Tizen smartphone from the beginning. All the Tizen smartphones have debuted in India first and then expanded to other countries gradually. In 2016, it was also launched in Africa and Southeast Asia. And then in 2017, this year, it will be further expanded to Middle East, Latin America, and entire Africa. Tizen will keep expanding, and it will be available to all the customers in the world eventually. Now let's talk about the Tizen Store. We are expecting 10 times more new applications in this year and compared to last year. And also, we have already secured many of the popular and essential applications, global applications, and there are more to come. Of course, we also take local applications seriously as well. The Tizen Store has many popular local applications in India, Africa, and Indonesia. Solutions for developers' monetization, such as mobile advertisement solution and popular game engines, are also available already. Last but not least, this is about ongoing multi-million dollars incentive program. Every month, we are awarding top 100 download applications from the Tizen store. Since February this year, several thousands of applications have been applied, and around 10% of them already got the incentives. Here are two success cases, for example, to motivate you developers. H Games Art, which is 4-person team in Czech Republic, won 8 games in only 3 months. And Mr. Georg Kemptner, who is an individual developer in Austria, he won the incentive by converting his existing Android game to Tizen. The program will continue until October this year, so if you challenge yourself to submit a new application or existing application, you could possibly win the incentive too. For more information, please visit www.tizenincentive.com and please go for it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Choi. I don't know about you guys, but after that video with the fridge, I kind of want pancakes for lunch. But of course, to build a strong developer platform, of course, to build the products we just saw, you need a strong developer platform. The next speakers will explain how the Tizen for .NET platform is going to keep getting better. To start us off, please help me welcome to the stage Hong-Sok Kim, Vice President of Samsung.
Okay, we released the first official version of Tizen SDK in 2014, along with the launch of the very first Tizen product. Since then, for every new Tizen product, we released an updated SDK for you to develop for the new product. Initially, well, you had to download and install a different SDK to develop for a different product, right? That was pretty inconvenient. We heard you. So in 2016, we completely redid our architecture and shipped an integrated SDK so that you can develop any application for any of our product with a single SDK. We are going to continue to make a heavy investment so that we can improve Tizen as a developer platform. We are working with Microsoft to offer .NET as a developer platform for Tizen. Since our announcement with Microsoft in last November, we released 3 public previews of the Tizen.NET and its Visual Studio tools. We are on track to deploy Tizen.NET to our products. The first target is going to be TV, and we are also working on mobile and wearables. And you will hear a little bit about that later in my talk today. Tizen is not only a platform for application developers, but it is also a platform that you can use to build your next device. Our team is working really hard with our industry leaders so that we can offer the best as a solution. Tizen's future depends on you, the developer community. Building a vigorous developer community is our top priority. We really want to grow with you. We really want to delight you, the developers. For the next 40 minutes, I will go over the various activities that we have been working together to make that happen. OK, let me begin with the application developer side first. There are so many different kinds of connected devices. They are used in many different situations with many different scenarios. And they have quite different capabilities, right? Likewise, developers developing connected devices, they come up with a very different kind of backgrounds. To meet this wide range of needs and developers' background, we offer 3 different options for application development. For developers who has a rich embedded experience, we offer C and C++. For developers who want to bring their web experience with the Connect devices, we offer web applications. For developers who are familiar with mobile development environment, we offer .NET and Xamarin. As a whole, we allow developers to bring their familiar skill sets and immediately build a really great, beautiful Tizen applications. Our ultimate goal is to provide a full modern experience, regardless of you are building phones, wearables, TVs, home appliances, or even like small fun things with Arctic and Raspberry Pi. The past decade has been a really amazing time to be an app developer. With the explosion of the interest in application development, there has been tons of great innovations in this space, especially in development technology. Traditional developers' main look, which consists of, well, developing, building, testing, and debugging, that's still really important, but the modern application developer experience goes much more beyond than that. Beyond the main loop, we are actually focusing on 2 extended areas. The first, in how developers are working together with designers. If you build a mobile app or app for the TV, then you immediately understand the importance of the UX, right? And it's actually absolutely critical for developers to get closer to designers to bring the best experience of their apps. And second, how developers are working together as an effective team. And cloud and DevOps are completely changing the landscape in this perspective. In both areas, we are working with industry leaders so that we can offer the best for you. Let's talk about the design aspect first. I would like to invite Damian from Adobe, who will present what Adobe and Tizen has been working together. Please welcome Damian.
Hello guys, good morning. My name is Damian Borba. I'm one of the product managers working on Adobe Experience Design CC Beta, also known as Adobe XD. Adobe XD is a brand new tool from Adobe, built from scratch to help designers tackle the UX challenges of today. That involves a lot more than just visual design. UX today means research, interaction design, prototyping, wireframing, flow definition, user testing, asset production, design systems, and a lot more. Adobe XD is focused on performance, quality, and innovation. Our goal is to enable designers to design at the speed of thought, to fail fast, to learn fast, to iterate. XD is available for Windows 10 and Mac OS, with companion apps for iOS and Android. Then, designers can create web links to collect feedback from stakeholders, go back to designs or prototypes, and iterate, all within the same app. With Adobe XD, you can design a website or app jump to prototype mode to create your interactions and share with other designers or stakeholders to collect feedback. We use Adobe XD to create Adobe XD. It's Inception. Every major feature is prototyped, tested, validated before making the product. Thousands of designers give us feedback, constant feedback on social media and user voice. If you tweet anything with hashtag Adobe XD, the entire team sees it. Here's Adobe XD, all contextual, with your design tools on the left and your prototype inspector on the right. For today, I decided to create a Tizen TV application and connect screens to have a fully working prototype. Then I can create a web link, and stakeholders can give me feedback, pointing me to specific pins with comments. I can then go back to my designs, make all the necessary changes, and move on. As part of the relationship with Samsung, we're looking at adding presets for devices running Tizen, including TV and mobile. One special new feature is called visual versioning. By storing your projects in Creative Cloud, you'll be able to go back in time, access a past version, and then copy and paste assets into the present. So no more final v1 underscore final or final 1 underscore really final files. As a sneak peek, this is another great feature we'll be releasing soon, called Developer Handoff. Developers will be able to access a link to extract measurements, assets, colors, and text. Just select the elements you want and get the information you need. So let's take a quick look at Adobe XD in action. So as I was saying, I was going to create a TV design. So this is Adobe XD with almost a full design. I can start by going to this area. And let's say I want to create another grid of images on this side. Of course, I can import an image like any other design app, but I could also go to my Finder, get, for example, let's say this image, and just drag it from Finder to that area. Or I can use the new tool called Repeat Grid and just repeat the elements I want. Adjust padding. So let's say this would be 2 pixels, all visually. Nice. And now, the same way I was able to drag one image, let's say you want to drag a bunch of images, and it populates the entire grid. Once you're happy with your design, let's say I'll also add a fireworks image here to finish my design. Perfect. Once you're happy with your design and you want to start prototyping your application, you just go to prototype mode. You don't have to switch to a different application. And you can start wiring things up. So let's say from this image, I want to go to this artboard. Then I can hit play, and that interaction is already working. I can then create web links, like I mentioned before, where developers can access measurements and all these different things from here, copy and paste into the code. And I can get feedback from stakeholders because all the comments are pinned, and I can resolve them, I can reply to them all from here. So that's Adobe XD in less than a minute. Adobe XD, the only tool where you can design, prototype, and share to create amazing experiences. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you very much, Damian from Adobe, for the great work and also for presentation. So now let's switch the gear a little bit and talk about the developer side. We have been working very closely with Microsoft on this perspective. Let me invite Imo, a product manager from Microsoft, who can go over amazing things that Microsoft and Tizen have been working together. Please welcome Imo from Microsoft.
Thank you, Hong Sok. It's great to be here today. My name is Imo Lentworth, and I'm a program manager working on the .NET team at Microsoft. This is the best moment in time to be a .NET developer. And let me tell you why. I joined Microsoft 7 years ago, specifically because I wanted to work on the .NET platform. But really, the thing that really made my day was the last 3 years. So it was a very long day, if you will. And the reason for that is just one thing. It's called open source. We have done open source for quite some time on the .NET team at Microsoft. But we really got serious in about 2014 when we open sourced the .NET Core platform. And that includes our runtimes, our frameworks, and our compilers. And since then, we also created what we call the .NET Foundation. It's an open source organization that oversees our .NET investments and also advocates for the projects. At the same time, we also established the .NET steering group that advocates that advises the .NET Foundation on the use of .NET in the corporate context. And we have very strong industry partners to do that. And one of the key contributors in that space is Samsung. And not only do they support us in the ARM bring-up, they also support us in the .NET steering group. And as you can see by the exponential growth, .NET open source has really taken off since then. In fact, today, 60% of all the contributions we see are from the community, meaning outside of Microsoft. So I want to thank Samsung for helping us in that space. The second thing I want to talk about is, .NET is so flexible that it runs in so many different platforms. In fact, on any platform you can imagine, whether it's the Windows desktop, Azure, iOS, Android, and now Tizen as well. But we also created the .NET Standard because we really want to have a representation of all the APIs and all the capabilities that all these .NET platforms share. And that makes it really easy for you to reuse code and bring it across all the platforms that we have. It also makes it easier for us to innovate, because every single time we innovate in our compilers or runtimes, all the .NET platforms immediately benefit. But we also have great tooling, because running your code everywhere is only half the story, right? The other half of the story is designing and developing your code everywhere. And for this, we have two major things. We have Visual Studio, which is our IDE, and that is available for macOS and Windows. And we have Visual Studio Code, which is our lightweight code editor, which is also available for Linux. At Microsoft, we have believed for a long time that one of the key assets that .NET adds to the table is productivity. And with a unified platform and a very rich set of tools, we believe we are still pushing the envelope of what productivity can do for you. For mobile solutions, we have Xamarin, especially Xamarin Forms, which is a unified UI stack across iOS, Android, and now Tizen as well. Using C# and Xamarin, you can build mobile applications that are native and they span multiple different device platforms, all within the context of Visual Studio, all within the context of one code base. Why is that important? Because it really simplifies the amount of time you have to spend on building mobile applications. It reduces the amount of code that you have to write, but you don't have to compromise on the user experience. But we fully understand that building mobile applications is much more than just writing the code. There's also testing, there's deployment, there's telemetry, crash reporting, and all of that. And we have taken all of those things and combined them in one thing, which we call the Microsoft Visual Studio Mobile Center. And you can basically think of Mobile Center as your mission control for all your mobile applications. So no matter what language you're using to build mobile applications, Visual Studio Mobile Center is your DevOps pipeline for all your mobile applications. Today we support iOS, Android, and Windows apps, but we are currently working on bringing up Tizen support as well. Today's Tizen support is available by invitation through the Tizen 4.NET Early Access Preview program. I want to thank Samsung for the great partnership we have, and I'm really excited to see what you guys are building with Visual Studio and .NET. Thank you.
Hey. Thank you. Thank you very much, Imo, for the great presentation. It has been very pleasant to work with Microsoft on .NET. .NET Core as an open source project has been a phenomenal success. More than 60% of the contributions are coming from the community, and Samsung is taking a big role leading the ARM and XD side of the development. I'm really looking forward to continue the great collaboration with Microsoft and .NET community. Now let's take a deeper look into exactly what we can do with Tizen.net. I'm going to invite one of my friends, Sid from Samsung, to the stage. Please welcome Sid to the stage.
Hey, Hong-Sok.
Hey, so what are you going to show us today?
So earlier we saw how designers can use great tools such as Adobe XD to get the designs down and share them on the cloud. But what about all you app developers out there? What can you do? So Tizen.net, the reason why I'm so excited about Tizen.net is that you get to use Visual Studio. Visual Studio provides a modern development environment with great features. So on my PC here, I've got Visual Studio. So let's switch to my PC and let's look at what we can do. All right, so here's Visual Studio. So the first thing you need to do as a Tizen application developer to develop Tizen.net applications is set up Visual Studio tools for Tizen. I've already done this in advance, and I can check this if I go to Tools, Extensions and Updates. If I type in Tizen over here, I can see that I have Visual Studio tools for Tizen installed. This is perfect. This is all you need to develop your Tizen.net applications. Everything you need is here. OK, let's close this. So let's see what this actually allows us to do. If we go to File, go to New Project, we can now see that we have Tizen templates here. So here we have the Xamarin Forms portable type structure.
Wow, it's pretty straightforward.
Exactly, exactly. And this means you can share code between iOS, Android, Windows, Tizen, and within Tizen you could share code between Tizen TV and Tizen Mobile. So you write less and you're much more efficient. And then we also have single projects, so as an app developer, you have a lot more flexibility. Let's look at some code and let's actually see what some great features of Visual Studio are and what you can do. So, we can drop breakpoints very easily. I can just double click there and there's a breakpoint right there. I can double click and it's gone. If I hover over something like this, I can see I get IntelliSense there.
Wow, it's pretty fast and nimble.
Yeah, it's super fast and it's super convenient. And Visual Studio comes with analytics and team services and a bunch of other great tools to really help you be more efficient.
So anything on Visual Studio you can use for developing Tizen apps.
Exactly. All the great features of Visual Studio, as a Tizen application developer, they're available to you. Now, let's look over here at our Solution Explorer. We have this Media Hub here. Do you recognize that?
Oh, yeah, from the Adobe presentation, right?
Exactly. So we saw this earlier on Adobe XD. And now we have it here in Visual Studio.
OK, so can I see it running somewhere?
Absolutely. So Tizen applications run on a variety of device types. And currently, Visual Studio tools for Tizen comes with mobile and TV emulators. So let's actually look at this on some of our emulators. So let me perhaps choose the mobile application. OK, I've got the mobile emulator selected there. So let me open the mobile emulator, turn it on, unlock. And let me deploy this in real time right now. So here is a mobile version of our Media Hub application. And it's fully functional. I can click on Movie, and I have a bunch of movies here, for example. Let's also look at it on the TV emulator. OK, that's TV project. OK, here's my TV. So let me, again, deploy this in real time. Here's our Media Hub. It looks just like what we saw in Adobe XD. And I can use the remote, and I can actually select movies and hover above them, for example.
OK, now I can believe that you can use emulators to run the applications. But I will really believe you if you can actually use the real TV to launch and see the application running. Can you do that?
OK. So towards the end of this year, we're going to start deploying Tizen.net officially on all Tizen TVs. So what this means for you, Hong-Sok, and for all our app developers out there is after that, you can get your Tizen TV, change it into developer mode, and just connect it to your PC using Wi-Fi or LAN. And Visual Studio will then detect it, and you can deploy your application in the exact same way which we just did for the emulators.
That's exactly what I do when I'm working on smartphones.
Exactly.
Right?
Nothing new. You already know what you have to do.
OK.
And we have this beautiful Samsung TV over here. And I've got it connected, and it's already in developer mode. So let's try to do this now. Let's try and deploy this Media Hub application on the TV. So we can see that the target has been detected. So again, a real-time deploy. Hooray.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone. So we saw this earlier in Adobe XD. We then have it on Visual Studio, and now we have it on a TV. And let's actually look at it. So I have this remote here. Let's go to the gallery. So I can browse some of my images. I can scroll. Let's go up to movies. So I believe we have lunch after the keynote, right? And we're getting near lunchtime. So we have a video about food here. So let's take a quick look at that. So hopefully one day my kitchen will look this good. So all of this was made using Tizen.net, so that's C# and Xamarin Forms.
Wow, it's amazing. Is there anything else that you want to show us?
Yeah, absolutely. So one other aspect of modern development is sharing, is working in teams. And this is where Visual Studio is also very, very powerful. So if I click here on Team Explorer, I can see that it's connected to my Visual Studio Team Services account. And I get all sorts of features with this. I can track changes, I can see pull requests, I can see work items, and I get all the benefits of continuous integration. But if I don't have Visual Studio, let's say I'm on the road, I can actually open this in Chrome. So here I am on Visual Studio Team Services, logged in, and I can see that I have my Media Hub solution right here. So let's look into this and see what we can do. So let's click on Code. If I click on Media Hub, so this is exactly what we just saw in Visual Studio. It's on here, and I can browse the code, and I can see all the history. But let's also try and build it. So we have a Tizen build process now available on Visual Studio Team Services. So I've been doing builds over the past few days, and I can queue a new build. If I click like this, I queue a new build. So OK, let's start that. So this is now going to use a cloud-based build system and start building our Media Hub application.
So probably we can configure this system so that we can actually trigger the build for every commit to the Git repository. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And so in a few minutes, your Media Hub Tizen package is going to be available on here.
Okay. So actually, this really looks great. I cannot wait until this becomes the real thing that we can use. When is it going to be available for the general audience?
Exactly. The number one question: when can you all use this? So we have preview versions of Visual Studio Tools for Tizen available right now, and you can download that right now. However, we're going to officially release Visual Studio Tools for Tizen in fall of this year. And as we mentioned earlier, Tizen.net deployment for our smart TVs is coming towards the end of this year. And we also have an early access program. So right now, you can sign up for our early access program and get information on Visual Studio Tools for Tizen and get access to great marketing opportunities. And of course, we're here at TDC in San Francisco, and we have a bunch of breakout sessions on Tizen.net. So come meet us, come meet me, come meet all of our team, and let's really help you make the application which you want to make.
OK, thank you very much, Sid.
Yeah, see you soon.
Thank you. So as Sid mentioned, we are going to make another preview release that we call as M1 in the summer timeframe. Then we will release the official SDK for TVs in the full time. And we will begin deploying TVs with .NET equipped first to limited partners, then to the general audience from the winter this year. Now, let's switch the gear a little bit and talk about the device developer side of the Tizen. Well, device development is far more complicated than application development, as all of you know. Developers need to look into a much larger scope, and the development environment is also fairly complicated. And device development usually involves far more people than application development. Well, which means to run such a project, it's really, really important that you turn the group of developers into a cohesive and productive team. Building a cohesive and productive team, that is exactly what the Tizen is focusing on. To make that happen, we are investing in two key areas. The first, the team portals, and second, the team infrastructure that can run either on a cloud or in an on-premise infrastructure. In a modern development environment, portals are not just a mere channel for document and information transfer. Portals are where developers become a team and get things done. And we are working really hard to provide that experience to you. In Tizen, developers' workflow begins from your most potentially Ubuntu Linux desktop, but it needs to be completed in the team's infrastructure where build, test, deployment, all those things are tied as a continuous integration. Providing a really scalable build and test infrastructure is a key to make your development as smooth as it needs to be. There are three groups of developers involved in device development. Developers who focus on building the platform core, developers building the devices stack based upon the platform core, and developers who are actually completing the user experience by building an apps for the device. Each group has a distinct need, and we are making sure that we address all those needs independently. Let's talk a little bit about one of the efforts they're currently putting on to help designers, developers who want to build their next device with Tizen. Let me invite my friend Sid again to the stage. Sid?
Hello again.
Okay, so what is on your hand?
So over here, I have this device which has been made by my hobbyist friend back in Korea, Cynthia Choi. So this has been 3D printed, and it's connected. We have a board underneath here, and it's a mood lamp, and you can program a lighting pattern and an actual music pattern to come out of this.
Does it work?
Yeah, so I've got it connected to this battery pack here, so let's try that.
Okay.
So yes, green, my favorite color.
So if I want to build something like this, then where should I begin? What should I do?
Right, so what you need to do, Hong-Sok, is you need to head to a store or someplace where you can acquire a board, perhaps something based on Samsung's Arctic or something that's Raspberry Pi based. And after you do that, you need to take it out of the box, plug it into your PC, and start developing the software component of your device and start debugging it.
Oh, can I use Tizen for doing that too?
Absolutely. You know, we're nearing 100 million devices, Tizen devices, and this is a great time to join our ecosystem. And to do this, I'm really pleased today to announce we have a new tool called CraftRoom. CraftRoom is really going to speed up the device development process. We have wizards which are going to help you easily generate Tizen images and flash them onto your devices. Then we have a bunch of sample and reference apps, so you can really see the best practices. And these sample and reference apps can be shared from other developers, so it's a community portal. And they can also write tutorials and guides, so you can really learn the best practices and make the best device.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
So, you know, I have CraftRoom here on my PC. So let's switch over to my PC and take a look at this. OK, so here I am. I have a project here called CraftB. And I mentioned earlier we have a wizard to help you really efficiently generate Tizen images. So let's take a look at how we can do this. So we have to choose a board firstly. So, you know, we've been talking about the Raspberry Pi a bit. So let's go with the Raspberry Pi, the Raspberry Pi 3. OK, what's next? So now we have to choose a theme. So the theme depends on the kind of device we're making. So let's go with an IoT headless minimal theme. So this is basically a device without a screen. OK. Now let's scroll down. So we have more advanced options here. And many of you device developers out there can probably configure some advanced options. But today, Hong-Sok, let's really focus on helping our first-time device developers build a Tizen-based IoT device.
OK.
So actually, that's it. 2 steps. First step is you choose your hardware board. Second step is you choose a theme. Now we're ready to generate an image. So let me go ahead and do that. And now it's generating.
Okay, so how long does it take to generate image? It appears that it is actually done in the cloud-based infrastructure. Is that right?
Right.
Okay.
And this is going to take a couple of minutes, maybe 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes.
So let's say the generation is done, then I download it and flash it into my Raspberry Pi or Arctic, right? How do I making sure that everything worked fine? How can I check it?
That's a great question. As a device developer, you're going to be frequently generating Tizen images. You're going to frequently be flashing them to your device. And how do you know that you've done this correctly? So let's see how Craftroom can also help you do this. We're really trying to address all the pain points of device development. So let me show you that. So let's close this. So we can head over to the workstation here. So a simple way to check that you've correctly generated and flashed your image is to run a test or sample application. If it works as you expected, you've done it well. So over here, I have 2 applications related to an LED. And it's not too complicated to connect an LED to a Raspberry Pi. So I have one application which is just going to light up an LED, and a second application which would make the LED blink. And if your LED, and so actually you can launch it from here, and if your LED works as expected, you've done this correctly.
So from a single spot, from the single stop, I can generate the image for myself. I can download and flash that to my device, and even check whether that worked or not.
Absolutely,
Okay,
all in Craftroom.
Okay, then what should I do?
So the next step is probably you want to make more advanced applications for your device. And the great thing about this is, as an application developer, as a Tizen developer, you already know how to do this. You don't need to learn anything new. You can use Tizen Studio and C, or you can use Visual Studio and now Tizen.NET and C#. And both these SDKs come with all the tools which you're already familiar with. And you can efficiently and quickly build more advanced applications.
Wow. Okay, so now I can use the older tools that we have discussed in the first part of the talk to build applications for Raspberry Pi and Arctic.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you very much. So when do you think I can begin using it?
Right. So back in Korea, we're really working hard to address each and every pain point which you may face as a device developer. And we're expecting to release towards the end of this year. And so in the meanwhile, you can follow us on Tizen.org and get updates about the latest developments for Craftroom.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Sid.
Thanks, Hong
Thank
Seok.
you. Okay, so we have shown how developers can leverage Tizen to build the device on top of the actual device itself. Well, but developing a connected device is much more than just flashing the device and getting the application running on the device. You need much more than that, right? You need a chipset, and you need to form an ecosystem with other devices because they are connected. And you also need a cloud backend to complete the user experience. Well, there's a pretty huge scope. And we are working with many different industry leaders in many different areas so that we can have you succeed in fulfilling your dream in building IoT-based devices and services. We are currently focusing on 3 areas: expanding the SoC selection, and build device ecosystem, and start IoT service. Okay, let's begin with expanding SoC selection. Broadlink is one of the biggest smartphone players in China, providing Wi-Fi chipset and connected solutions based on the internet. Let me bring Jerry, the CEO of the Broadlink, to the stage and listen to how Broadlink and Tizen are working together. Please welcome Jerry.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Tim. My name is Jerry. I'm the CEO of Broadlink. For those you don't know us, Broadlink is the largest IoT platform in China. We ship 20 million IoT chipsets every year. For us, we have 2 business groups. The first one is B2C group. We design and manufacture lots of smart home gadgets, from Wi-Fi plug, light switch, universal remote, Wi-Fi speaker, and lots of sensors. So we sell these products worldwide We sold roughly over 5 million units already. But that's not the point today. I'm going to move to our second group, which is B2B. What do we do? So we provide a turnkey solution to our customers, especially appliance companies, smart device makers. We provide from chipset, embedded software, cloud service, app design for both iOS and Android, and also sometimes SaaS service as well. So this system, we call it a DNA system. This system consists of a software platform which is fully self-serviced, and also a hardware, it's called a DNA kit for you to tune your prototype. Then it's only 4 easy steps for you to finish your product from idea to the final product. You can choose your functionality from our profiles. We have already thousands of profiles in the system because I'll tell you later, we have more than 200 customers already using the platform. Then choose that functionality and use our DNA kit to tune your prototype. That probably takes you 1 day, right? And the second thing is check which platform you want port to. In this case, Tizen. You don't need to know the details of the cloud service. Just check the box. Then we will automatically port everything into to the Tizen ecosystem. Then the system will generate the UI automatically. If you don't want to change anything, your app is already there. Everything's done. You just need to a few days to tune the circuit, tune the system. Then we will provide life cycle management of the whole system. Then a couple of days, your product will be ready for mass production. So we have more than 150 plus customers worldwide and already connected to 10 platforms or ecosystem in China. But today, those are the brands we are working with, not only in China brands, but also the worldwide. We work with Panasonic, Mitsubishi, Electrolux, Whirlpool as well. For those appliances, we ship roughly 15 million a year, the Wi-Fi chip, Wi-Fi module. So in summary, the platform itself, we call it DNA system. It connects to 3 parts. First of all, the developer or the manufacturer. We help them to quickly turn the ideas into a product. The other part, we connect to the big platforms, especially in China, we have already connected to more than 10 platforms. Then we have a value-added service to it, which is AI. Basically, voice control, video, sensors, face recognition, all the techniques into the platform. So today, I'm going to announce our strategic partnership with Samsung on Tizen ecosystem. Broadlink will support, the whole system will fully support Tizen. And as I said before, you can easily, from the idea to embed Tizen ecosystem in 1 week. That's what we will do, right? And also, our 2C products will all support the Tizen system. Thank you very much for inviting me here. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much, Jerry, from Broadlink. We are also working with Telechips and other SoC companies to further enrich our SoC offering. Well, in addition, then Tizen also supports Arctic, our own SoC products for IoT, and you will learn a lot more about Arctic from Curtis later in this keynote. Okay. So our second focus is to build an ecosystem. Let's take a look at the video from Comex, one of our partners in this space.
Comex is a leading home IoT company with 50 years of history. We developed core technologies including remote control,
automotive technical intelligence, and BMS technology that are essential in home automation and home network industry. We export interphones, video phones, home network system, smart home system, CCTV and digital door locks, smart mirror, and in-home displayer to more than 120 countries in the world. We are planning to build customer-centric intelligent smart home era based on open source home IoT platform to comply with various global standards. Comex is constructing smart home IoT 4.0 service platform and infrastructure for AI-based home service. Moreover, we are preparing products based on various OS and hardware, including Linux, Android, and Windows 10 IoT Core for platform expansion. Our efforts align with the philosophy of Tizen software platform, as well as that of the Arctic reference platform, which both have been adopted and optimized for IoT service by participation in open source IoTVT project and Tizen project. Tizen is an IoT optimized open platform that provides innovative development experience to device manufacturers and application developers. By developing Tizen-based smart home IoT devices and service infra in IoT market, Comex expects to enhance customers' quality of life. Also, Comex is planning smart IoT device based on Tizen platform for Comex solution upgradability with the name of Smart Home IoT 4.0. At last, we are willing to participate in Tizen and IoTVT open source project and contribute to our knowledge and experience of smart home industry with collaborating with partners.
So the final focus, to build an end-to-end solution and realize the full potential as connected devices, you need a cloud backend. With the cloud backend, you can update the software, you can remote manage your devices, and you can also create the value with data and intelligence. You may choose to build up your own cloud backend from scratch, potentially leveraging open source project, or you may want to speed up your development, leveraging a platform so that you can immediately begin serving your customers. SDS is a multi-billion-dollar software company and is also a member of Samsung's larger enterprise. To help IoT developers to speed up their building their cloud backend, we have been working with SDS. One of the many products that SDS products, there's a product called Insider, which is a platform as a service to help you build IoT platforms and performing the data analytics. We are working with the Insider team so that you can rapidly build the backend for Tizen devices. Insider as a backend for Tizen is going to be ready for your preview in coming fall. Okay, for the past maybe the 40 minutes or so, I have shared all of different things that we have been working on to improve Tizen as a developer platform. Building a really vigorous developer community is absolutely our top priority. And that we want to delight our developers, and we want to see you growing together with us. Please enjoy the rest of the keynote and the conference. Thank you.
I'm glad you're still here. If my stomach starts to growl, please excuse me. You probably wonder why I have this unusual title of my presentation. Part of it is because I actually believe that IoT is becoming a fabric of all of the products and technologies that you developers are creating, that maybe the term IoT is actually going to go away. Now, who knows what the definition of IoT is? Anybody? No? It's classically been defined as the Internet of Things. And it's really about devices and services that are connected. We actually think the definition of IoT may actually be changing from the Internet of Things to the interoperability of things to what we see happening with deep learning, advanced analytics, computer vision, that IoT in the future may be called the intelligence of things. So this is a map. It's from a company called Thingful. They started tracking, as best they can, IoT devices around the world. So you can see even some countries that typically aren't very technologically advanced, there actually is quite a number of IoT devices. Now, you might be wondering what all the dots in the oceans are. These dots consist of airplanes, cargo ships, buoys, maybe some things we don't know that's underwater, that's being tracked. But what's the prediction that you might have of this map in 2020, just a few years from now? It could be totally purple color, which is a high concentration of IoT devices. Now, there's one thing to see a map. It's another thing to really see real products. I got a chance to meet the CEO of a company who opened up the retail store in downtown Palo Alto. It's called Beta. It's spelled B-8-T-A. Not too hard to forget. Their CEO is named Vibhu Norby. He actually came from a company called Nest, who I'm sure all of you heard about. When he opened the store about 18 months ago, he had a single store with about 50 products. When I actually had coffee with him a couple of weeks ago, he said they now have 6 stores and close to almost 200 products. And they're adding about 10 to 15 new IoT products every single month. So the reality is, in the consumer space, you're seeing lots of activity by startup companies coming up with some very creative products. Let me give you some examples on here. You see up there, there's an intelligent oven. There's actually a high-definition camera in the oven. It actually detects if you have a piece of chicken in there, a piece of steak in there, and it actually tells you the best way to cook it. And also in your mobile device, if you're cooking it and you're out jogging, you can actually see how it's doing in the oven. The device down here is actually floats in your swimming pool, and 24/7 monitors the chemical composition in your pool and automatically orders the right chemicals so that you never have to really worry about stepping into your pool. And probably the most interesting one on here is the one called PicoBrew. See that one? They have a very clever model where if you go to any of the breweries around the world and you happen to find one that you really like, when you go home, you can actually have all that recipe preloaded into the device, and in 2 hours, you'll get your custom brew right in your home. Pretty clever. So I just wanted to bring this up because you as developers have the creativity to come up with the next great service. Now, over the last couple of years, we've been developing the Arctic platform. When we started the development, we said, how can we make it much easier for developers? Let's start at the hardware level. So we came up with the idea of creating these highly integrated modules. We call it the Arctic modules. And we came up with a new term for that called System on Modules, or SOM. So on there, we actually integrate an SoC, processor, DRAM, flash memory, wireless control. So all that work we actually pre-did for you. We also pre-test it. So it makes it much easier for you as you develop your product to use our module, and that same module is used in production. We also built a cloud solution called Arctic Cloud. There's many clouds out there that you can use that actually collects the data from devices, but what we focused on was interoperability. So we have about 900 different devices and cloud services already connected in, and we have a very powerful orchestration engine that allows you to have actions happen automatically across the different devices and services, and we'll show you a demo of that shortly. And finally, an ecosystem, having technology partners, systems integrators who can really help companies get their products developed and to market. So on the hardware side, when we first started this project, we knew IoT is not one size fits all. So if you look at from the Arctic 10, that has an octa-core processor. That has lots of DRAM and flash memory. It even does video encoding and decoding and supports a flat panel display with touchscreen. So it's very, very powerful. So you can build extremely interesting applications and services based on that. If you go down to the Arctic Zero, that provides a really compelling solution for edge nodes. Things that have a single sensor, you may have just a single radio that's needed, and it's very economical to actually use and deploy. And we have obviously Arctic 5 and 7 in the middle that has dual-core processors, in some cases with the 5, and Arctic 7 is also an octa-core 64-bit processor. So we have a whole range of devices that you can use in the hardware side. Now, today, later on this afternoon at IoT World, down at Santa Clara, we'll be making this introduction of a brand new module called the 053, but you guys are getting a sneak peek before IoT World. So please be excited about that. So the new 053 consists of an ARM Cortex-R4 running at 320 megahertz. It has 1.4 megabytes of DRAM, 8 megabytes of flash memory, and it has integrated 802.11 BGNN. Also for security, which is critical for IoT, we embed a hardware secure element. And that's really critical so that you can't have malicious code being loaded into these devices. And it's extremely small. I just so happen to have one in my pocket. So this is the new Arctic 053. You can see it's smaller than a typical stick of gum. And it has all that processing and memory fully integrated in. So it's very ideal if you want to have a Wi-Fi solution. Today also we are announcing some enhancements to our end-to-end platform. Besides the module, we've added some capabilities between the modules and cloud. We have what's called easy onboarding. So with a mobile application, you take a picture of the QR code that's on here, and literally less than 30 seconds, your module is securely paired to Arctic Cloud. If you were to develop this from scratch, it might take you a day to actually write all of that code. We also added into Arctic Cloud the ability to monitor the health of all of these different devices. And we have even included OTA support. So now the fun part. Let's move over and do a demo. So I'd like to introduce Wei Zhao. She's our senior technical evangelist.
Good morning, Curtis.
Hi.
Hi.
So since we're in San Francisco, we thought we'd show some things with cable cars and utility poles.
Yeah, as you have noticed, we have 3 poles set along the streets of beautiful Fisherman's Wharf. Each of the utility pole is being powered by Arctic 053, which we just announced a couple of seconds ago. Yeah, so we have a couple of sensors attached to 053 to help us monitor the temperature, tilt angle of each pole. Collected sensor data is streamed to a gateway device. We're actually using an Arctic 530 in our case. And aggregate data is sent to Arctic Cloud.
Great.
So as it shows up on the map.
So we actually are simulating the locations of these poles throughout San Francisco.
Exactly. Each of the pole has
Right.
a specific GPS location associated with it. So all these green icons suggest all poles are in a healthy condition right now.
Good.
So do you want to take a look at what happens at Fisherman's Wharf?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So pretend we're riding this cable car all together.
But looks like the driver is distracted.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
It hits the pole.
Oh, I see something on the map.
Yeah, so the map icon turns into orange.
Ah.
And since you're the PGE guy, did you
Okay.
get a notification?
Yeah, it came in live on our Tizen watch. How about that? It shows the location of the pole. Oops. It also has on the bottom actual map location that you see here, all on the watch. So if I was a PGE repair person, I would know exactly where to go to fix the pole.
So the notification is triggered by Arctic Cloud Rules Engine.
Great.
Well, since you know the location, can you please go and
Okay.
fix the pole?
Okay, I have to get my big crane. I wish I was Superman this strong. Yeah, great.
So once the pole is fixed, its icon turns back into green. Well,
Fast.
yeah. Since we're in San Francisco, earthquake is one of our major concerns.
Uh-oh.
So hold on, I'm going to simulate an earthquake by tapping onto the vibration sensor attached to our 053.
Must be a
That's
7.2.
I guess so. I guess I have to tap harder. Cannot be so gentle. Oh.
It is a live demo.
No, I guess it's not triggered. And we're not expecting an earthquake at all.
Well, maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah. But
Okay.
once an earthquake is triggered, the icon should turn into red to indicate the epicenter of the earthquake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank
Everybody get the
you.
idea. Okay. Thanks, Wei. There it is. Demos. The Arctic team is, as well as the Tizen folks. We're very big supporters of open source. We actually leverage a lot of the open source code that's out there. So if you're contributors to open source, I personally want to thank you for the great work. And just to wrap up, the Arctic platform, which we've been working on for several years, it consists of modules, an operating system. In the case of the 053, we're using Tizen RT, which is what you saw live there. We have tools. We have the Arctic Cloud. We've now built in management capability. We have an ecosystem. And best of all, the Arctic 053, which you just saw, is available today. And if you signed up to the hands-on training class, which is tomorrow afternoon, that is what you'll be developing on. So hopefully you have fun with that. So I want to thank you for your time, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Let's hear one more round of applause for all of our keynote speakers this morning. I'd also like to thank our sponsors, especially Microsoft, Adobe, and Broadlink, for helping make this conference happen. Let's hear a round of applause for them as well. So Tizen keeps getting better year after year. And the new things we just witnessed in these keynotes should prove that this trend is ongoing. First, we saw how Tizen 4.0 is going to improve connected devices for the Internet of Things. Then, we got to take a glimpse at some exciting new Tizen products. Finally, we got to see how Tizen is becoming a simple yet powerful platform for device and app developers. It's a great time to be working in connected technology, and Tizen is positioned to be an extremely valuable tool in this domain.